And now we're moving on to our tech talk on offensive crowdsourced security testing, why your current pen test is not good enough. And we're joined by our speaker for this tech talk is Ron Peeters, Vice President, Middle East and Emerging Markets in Synack, Netherlands. Well, Ron is responsible for the build out and expansion of Silicon Valley-based Synack into the EMEA marketplace, including the direct sales channel team, the channel development, the business development, strategic partnerships, and building an EMEA organization. Well, ladies and gentlemen, joining us live from Netherlands is none other than Mr. Peeters. Ron, I'd now like to pass the stage and screen over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me well, because it seemed like I have some bandwidth issues here.
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me properly?
Yes, we can. We can.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you very much for having me this morning.
Well, Ron, apologies here. The voice is cutting right now. Would you like me to help you rectify with the internet issue out there? Would you like to?
Thank you. What I would like to do is take a journey that outlines some of the challenges that. I hope you can hear me well. I will switch. Do it this way.
So Ron, when you're talking, we can hear you, but in the middle, your voice is sort of not there. So it is cutting. I think, yes, you're right. There is a bandwidth concern.
Okay. I will just mute myself. Okay. Hope you can hear me better now. I'll go with my mobile. Is this better?
Yeah, this is better. This is better.
Okay, great. So I will present in one way of my computer, and I will talk through my mobile phone. All right, so hopefully it works. So yeah, thank you. Let me start it quickly again. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me today. What I would like to do is take you on a quick journey, talking about how vulnerable we all are and how we can make changes to that. The topic really is why you're not well protected today, and also why traditional pen testing is just not good enough to protect you well against sophisticated cyber attacks. So let me put this on presentation mode. And what we're all trying to do is we're trying to figure out how to best protect ourselves with different kind of technologies, different kind of tools, different security departments, with external services and so on. And what we're finding is it really working well? Are we well protected? And the answer is unfortunately not very well. And the way we typically do this is we use automated tools. Automated tools like vulnerability scanners and all this type of things are trying to find potential breach points into our environment, but they're only find a very small percentage of potential exploits in your parameter, in your systems, in your infrastructure. So that puts us back on a traditional approach that has been around for a long time, which is traditional compliance-based penetration testing. It used to be very much a regulatory requirement to do so. It still is actually, if you, for example, look at the financial community, but it's very much focused around checking the box and then we're good to go for another year. And that is not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is trying to see how can I mimic sophisticated cyber tech behavior, and how can I mimic how I'm being attacked from malicious hacking organizations, maybe hostile government hacking teams, and so on. And what you will see is that it falls very short on accomplishing that. And we kind of know it if you think about it intuitively. If I put 1 or 2 or 3 researchers with mid-level skill set on that, you can see it does not stand up against very sophisticated cyber attacks from highly funded organizations that make hundreds of millions a year, or are very large part of very large hostile teams by some certain type of governments. And that's what I actually picked up on what Dr. Osama was saying when he said we need cybersecurity 2.0. What we're doing today, it's just not good enough. And it shows that we are not able to emulate sophisticated multi-state cyber attacks, deploying different TTPs, different ways of attack formats, and looking for even more advanced application level things like insert yourself in a business process, an authorization bypass, those types of more sophisticated capabilities. And what we are finding with all the customers that we work with in the Middle East, it is so easy. It is really incredibly easy to break into anything very quickly. And it doesn't matter if you're a government department, or if you're a critical infrastructure, or if you're a private enterprise or publicly traded company. It is so easy to do that, for us at least. And that should be a concern. So what I think you're trying to do is then to see, how can I better find these potential breach points that I have in my live environment that I don't know about, and that I would like to find before somebody else with bad intentions is getting there. And here's just an example of a client. This is live data. They did fully penetration tests. So, okay, we're good for another year. And then we did the same. And we found many serious exploits left in their environment. And these exploits are just very dangerous, because an exploit means you're being breached. And when you're being breached, you have malicious entities and organizations on the inside of your infrastructure, inside of your applications, can take control of your data, can take control of your IT infrastructure and of your applications. And a serious amount of damage can occur as a result of that. So this is how Synack came about. We come out of what we call offensive intelligence. We come out of breaking into terrorist networks, seeding ourselves, and so on, as our founders come out of the National Security Agency and US Department of Defense. They were able to easily penetrate hostile government environments and really help protect many countries and people and save lives and so on. And worked, of course, very close with major organizations in the Middle East like UAE and Saudi Arabia and so on. And they realized that this sophistication was just not available for the business community. So they left, started the company 2013, and the rest is kind of history. So we have now over 300 employees. We have over 1,500 researchers. We are one of the most sophisticated and comprehensive elite attack forces in the world, with more than 1,500 international top-class security researchers that can be deployed on an instant moment, virtually on any kind of target. And of course, we work for the client. So we take a very much adversarial approach, meaning mimicking attack behavior. We look at things a bit differently. And then what we do is we also have front-end that with sophisticated reconnaissance and machine learning technology to really speed up the discovery process of these potential breach points in the environment. Now, in order to make that work, so we're a virtual service with no footprint. We needed a platform, so we created one. There isn't one that existed. We haven't seen anything like it anywhere of any organization that have something similar. So what we deploy on any target, and it doesn't matter if you're a government department or you're a private company or you're a bank or and so on, we deploy our technologies first, and then it's followed by deploying large teams of international top-class security researchers. So not one, not two, not five, not 10, but probably 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 in that range. So what you can start to feel now is if I take some of the world's best top security talent and I deploy the large teams on your target, you'll see a tremendous amount of impact going to happen. And that is exactly true. So we typically find a number of serious exploits in a matter of hours or a day or 2 days or something like that. And many of those, at least so far, and it doesn't matter what kind of organization you are here in the Middle East. And all of this occurs through a controlled VPN gateway, because control and transparency is very important in security business, obviously. So on one side, I can monitor exactly what my researchers are doing, where they're going, what kind of testing they're performing. At the same time, I also expose that to the client, so you can actually see what we're doing in real time. We're not in batch, we're not a PDF report afterwards, in real time. And we come at it from our several pre-announced IPs, or when it's inside testing, which we do a lot also in the Middle East, then we create a site-to-site VPN connection. And then last but not least, we expose it to you in real time, report in real time, so you have full control over anything that happens. And this is kind of what it looks like. This is, I think, very, very unique approach. So on the right side, I see a full audit trail, and I see exactly what is going on, what vulnerabilities are being uncovered by Synack, and how severe they are, but it could also be retesting of things that have been fixed. On the left side, I see how many hours of testing I already have done. In this case, it's more than 20 man-weeks. And I do 20 man-weeks of testing in probably 1 week time. So that means that there is a tremendous amount of activity that goes in the effort that we put in. I see I did 60 researchers because I work in a crowd approach, because I can rally the best researchers from around the world on your target. And these are researchers that are highly vetted. They're very advanced in both in trust and skill, and can break into about anything. And here's an example of a bank owned by a Dubai company where we found very quickly these kind of vulnerabilities in there. And then I see that we're having a little freeze on my screen. I notice here I'm calling in actually here I'm in Dubai, but the stability is not so great, so it thinks it's trying to put me back again. Let's see if we can get my screen back up, if possible. Just give me a second. It will want me to share my screen again. So there it comes back. So what we're just then finding, and very quickly, and it doesn't matter if your bank, which typically has a hardened attack surface, we still be able to get back into that. And what I will do is, so we'll just continue talking. And here is actually, if you the slide is coming up, you'll see that we even have some government departments that we do work with. Actually, one of them during Corona timeframe, they were very concerned about being attacked. There was a lot of attacks that were going on. So they deployed us the same day. They called us in the morning. In the morning, we signed. In the afternoon, we started deploying our reconnaissance technology, and up to 30 researchers that are highly specialized in the environment, and found many vulnerabilities, 2 high and 6 medium vulnerabilities in a matter of hours. It went that quick. Here's another one. This is one of the largest telecom operators in the Middle East. Same story. They were actually penetration tested by the in-house vendor. Then Synack went to work, and in about a few hours, we found like 16 exploitable vulnerabilities, of which we 9 submitted to the client, 1 being critical. And critical means a CVSS of 10. And that means, in non-technical language, full takeover control of the entire web application. So, of course, great, of course, shocking, but unfortunately, that is our reality. And what we're finding is that organizations are not well protected in the Middle East. They're not being able to broad to a very sophisticated level. So it takes just a matter of hours for us to break into that environment and find serious exploits. And this is where we think we can make a tremendous benefit as part of Cybersecurity 2.0, but also in terms of an approach to really raise your capability to protect yourself well and reduce your vulnerability, because those breach points likely sit, many of them, in your live environment. So I have one on Department of Defense very quickly. Same thing, Pentagon came to us. So that's, I think, a well-protected organization. They said, what can you do? But we don't think you can do much, because we are so hard and we have limited budgets and huge security department. So we went to work with 80 researchers. In 4 hours, we broke it to the Pentagon and found a very large exploit in the environment, which shocked them greatly. But that's really how the reality is of how we work. And if we can do that with a large team of our top researchers, it is not unlikely that a hostile organization or malicious cyber hacking organization will also be able to do the same and take advantage of that. They would have breached in their environment and take advantage of it and can do some really not nice things in that environment. So now we're doing a huge amount of projects with missile systems and all lots of different systems for Pentagon, US Department of Defense, Air Force, Tax Authority. We have many 4th largest banks in UK as client. We have here in the Middle East, we have airlines, we have telecom companies, and so on. So many clients that we help from that perspective. And what we do a lot is we do a lot of focus around. Hold on. We do a lot of focus around web applications, mobile applications. We do a lot of infrastructure. Infrastructure is a big thing for us because we find that we very easily be able to break into external and internal infrastructure at clients, and therefore that is a good way. Thinking about the foundation of your house, how you would really like to improve that. And then basically, to wrap it up, we consume that in three different ways, three flavors. Point-in-time test, but we run automated testing an entire year, and where most organizations are moving to, which is continuous testing subscription of both automated and manual testing. And that's what we see. We're talking to some clients here, UAE, some of the banks that actually want to do continuous testing on their entire environment, web application, mobile application, infrastructure, and so on. We are exhibiting here, so not worth speaking further about it. But we have then a very unique adversarial, crowd-based approach to rallying some of the world's top researchers on your target. So we look forward to speaking further with you about it and demonstrate and show you how we can do that. So with that said, I went kind of quick because we kind of run out of time. But if there's any questions, please probably best to contact directly in the exhibition area. I'm there with two of my other colleagues. So thank you very much for having me, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Ron, for being a part of the World Cybersecurity Summit MENA edition, and we really value your input. And definitely, as you rightly said, that for any of them, our esteemed attendees who are viewing us, our viewers, if anyone would like to get in touch with Ron, they could do so via the Expo booth today in the networking breaks. So thank you so much, Ron, for giving us your valuable time.
Thank you. My pleasure.